Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw an attractive, or maybe not attractive depending on your preferences, dude. So my friend, by the way, her name is Moga, and she has a Tumblr, Art by Moga, and a YouTube channel, which I think is also Art by Moga, but it might just be Moga. But go check her out because she does some really cool art too. Anyway, so the dude. How I usually start out is I draw a circle like so. You know, get it however, whatever shape you want. And there's a center line. I've never taken an art class, so I don't really know how to, you know, go about doing this correctly, but, you know, I have my own kind of doctrine for it. So you draw this triangle. This is not what the face shape is gonna be because nobody's face looks like that unless you're reading a manga. This is like the lines of his, like where his cheekbones come from to the tip of his chin. So then I go ahead and add in the jaw. Wow, what happened there? Oh man, I hate this eraser. So his jaw. Boop, boop, boop. He has a kind of, you know what? I don't like the way that turned out. Okay. So he has, there's his jaw. He has a kind of wide face, but whatever. So you have his jaw, and then I go ahead and add in, this process that I do is kind of the same. Like, here's his neck and his cheekbone jaw thing. And then for the neck, you basically do the same thing except you don't connect them. Like, here's his tendons for his neck. See how it's kind of like pew, 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 pew. Very remarkably specific sound effects. Okay, so then I go ahead and add in the actual neck, because we all have these little tendons here, and on guys they're usually more pronounced. So some shoulders. He has kind of a thick neck, and I'm gonna give him some broad shoulders. So muscly dude. I have a thing for collarbones, and I really like drawing collarbones. So go ahead, go crazy. Draw in those collarbones. I'm gonna not give this guy a shirt because why not? Go ahead and add in that little Adam's apple thing if you want. And his ears. You know, ears can add a lot of personality to a person. But I'm giving my guy pretty average ears. If you know, you want to give, this is going to be my example person over here. But you know, your ears, that might be like a silly guy or like a kid, like a little kid. You can give him gauges, you know, and like a bunch of earrings, like, I don't know what that's like, a bar earring. So just go crazy. Like, ears can add a lot of personality. I'm gonna give this guy some earrings. He has some little hoops. Now it is time to erase, here we go, the little skeletal structure that you have done earlier in the drawing. Get rid of that. So now you have a nice blank slate, pretty blank anyway, depending on how well you erased, for the face. And I usually start with the nose, and the nose can be anywhere on the face. Like, if you want to give him like a high up nose, he looks like a little bit like a monkey, or you can give him, you know, like a nose that's maybe down here and he looks more serious. I'm gonna go, this guy's pretty average, so you know what, that's too far down. He has a pretty average nose. So these are the nostrils, that's where I start, and then give him, you can draw the bridge and add a little bit of detail to the front. Wow, my dog's making sounds. So the nose is finished. Next, I go on to the eyebrows, and you know, if you want an evil eyebrow, like really kind of make him exaggerated, you know, this guy, I'm gonna give him, you know, the example guy, he's gonna have some like really high arched eyebrows because he just looks really confused to me. You can give him, this is like a confused, like desperate eyebrow. It's kind of a sad eyebrow. Wow, okay, lots of examples. Let's actually like get on to the tutorial. He's gonna have some kind of, he just looks kind of relaxed and chill. So he's got a kind of neutral expression. All right. There is his eyebrows. He has kind of large eyebrows. That's okay. And then I do the eyes. So we all know eyes are really hard to draw because you draw one eye and it's like perf, you know? And then you draw the other eye and it's not perf. So here's how I do it. I draw one part of the eye, you know, and then I draw it on the other side so that I don't spend all my energy drawing one eye and then give up on the other one and it looks awful. So you kind of have to mirror it. Like you draw this part on this part and then draw it on the other side and then finish it up on the other side. And once you get good at that, then it kind of gets easier to draw on both sides, like one side at a time. So go ahead and add the irises. He looks a little bit more surprised than I'd expected. So irises, you know, eyes are the windows to the soul. So make your guy have lots of personality in his eyes. Because I don't know what happened with that one, but we're just gonna go with it. These are like Aaron Yeager eyes, kind of. He just looks really upset. You know, if it's a girl, you add eyelashes. So I'm gonna do a girl tutorial, but here is a girl eye with a really big iris. Wow. So you add eyelashes, kind of go with it. But I'll do a more detailed tutorial later. All right. So his eyes are now complete. Moving on to the mouth. Mouths also carry a lot of personality in them. And to do a mouth, it's important to capture their emotion. Because if you have a guy who's kind of just like smiling, that's supposed to be a mouth. You know, that's kind of like a tight lip smile. But, you know, I'm going to do this guy and give him a really happy mouth. So he's got some teeth showing. His mouth is open. He's really excited to see you. He's like, hey. There is that guy. I don't like the way this example dude's turning out. I'm going to give this guy kind of like he's going to be talking. So he's having a good conversation with someone. I do mouths in like a cartoony style, sort of. I mean, my whole style is kind of cartoony, but there's his teeth. I don't really spend too much time on the teeth because if you give too much detail to them, they look weird. I just don't like drawing teeth that much. So as you can see, he is kind of happy to see you. He's like, hey girl, want to go out for dinner? Next, we're gonna move on to the hair. Oh, also I forgot to mention that this thing is the bottom of his lips. Like, there's an indentation. So we're gonna go in and shade a little bit after this, but not right now. Okay, so now moving on to the hair. You erase that big circle thing that was up there because we don't want that showing. That is part of the skeletal structure that I mentioned earlier, and we don't want that in our drawing. So, all right, we're gonna finish up the hair really fast because I'm running out of battery. My dog is trapped under my table. Okay, so swoopy hair begins with a swoop, like so. You want to hair is flowy, you know, nobody's hair is like stick straight unless you put a ridiculous amount of hair product in it. It moves, so give it movement. Like you don't want to give it like, nobody's hair looks like that. I'm sorry, but that's just the painful truth of it. Give it movement. You don't want to just go with the flow, man. This is really kind of fast hair. I spend more time on my hair usually, but it needs to have movement. So I don't usually spend too much time shading in the hair if they're, like, I'm gonna leave this guy. I think he's gonna be blonde. So don't shade that too much if he's blonde. I don't really shade unless I'm doing digital art or if the guy's hair is dark. So his hair can either go over his ears or be tucked behind his ears. This guy's hair obviously goes behind his ears and there's not really anything in front of him. This guy, however, his hair goes in front of his ears. And he has a lot of hair. Okay, so we're gonna start shading now, but I'm not gonna do too much because I don't want to blend it. So we can just do some like hatching for the shading. depending on where your light source is coming from, mine's just coming from like straight above right there. So add in some lines and think of where the shadow would be. Like if something is blocking the way, there's going to be a shadow underneath it. Otherwise the light just goes straight onto it. There's often a shadow under people's noses, under their eyebrows, under whatever hair they have, and then under this little thing right here. And their top lip, but I'm not going to give him a top lip because that would look kind of weird on this guy. So there's that, and then under his neck, because there's something blocking the way for the light, so there's a shadow right there. There could be a shadow right here. And yeah, I'm not going to shade his hair too much because on some parts there might be shadow. Yeah, so with that, there's some shadow on people's eyes, you know. I don't want to get too detailed with this one. But there is your attractive male. That's my signature. So next time, join me for how to draw an attractive female, and then I'll do some anatomy stuff. I'm not super good at anatomy, but we'll figure out how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching my art tutorial.